Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you guys doing? I'm joined with the esteemed, the honorable, and the legendary man Zishan from Smile to Jannah YouTube channel, which all of you must subscribe to. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, bro.
So after all of that, you're not going to give me something back? Huh?
Just give me a minute. There must be something.
How's it
The
going?
Pusillanimous.
How's it going, man?
Alhamdulillah,
Yeah?
Alhamdulillah.
You've been doing a
bro.
fantastic job, and I think a lot of the viewers have already seen you and Ali have been doing fantastic. I want to make this very public that you've been doing a really good job in the media offensive.
Alhamdulillah, bro.
Yeah, against the Zionist state, and I think social media is now taking the lead.
Oh, for sure, it's making a big impact. And this time, we're seeing Sky, BBC having to pick up their socks, having to really pick up their act.
They're still a bit biased, though, isn't it? You've had to
Oh, of
expose
course.
it.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
They're definitely. But when we expose it, then they realize, oh, we need to
Yeah.
also focus on that
The
side as
narrative
well.
becomes untenable
Mm.
because of social media.
Oh, because of media buildings coming down, because of coronavirus centers getting bombed, because of little children, it's just becoming, it's too clear now. It's too broad daylight. You've got cameras, social media,
Yeah.
bigger platforms,
Yeah.
and Muslims have invested time on these social media platforms. There is bias happening, but alhamdulillah,
I mean, what kind of state? I mean, I was just looking at the stats today with you, isn't it? And looking at the ratios, what kind of state would continue punishing children for the actions of adults? Like, you know that you're dropping bombs, there's a 30% chance that it's going to land on a child. Of 200 people that have been killed, 61 have been children in this to this day, right? 61 out of 200. And some maybe 40 or something like that have been women. So that's a 50% chance you're going to be hitting women or children. The rest of them probably civilians. How many Hamas are you actually hitting with these? So what they are effectively doing is they're punishing children. You know, they're punishing Hamas supposedly through killing children. This is a disgusting operation, and it's targeting civilians. It is targeting civilians. But the reason why I wanted to make a reaction video today about what the opinions of those individuals that live, just general folk, is because the hate has to start from somewhere. And when I watched this kind of social experiment, I thought to myself, wallahi, this reminds me of reading old Nazi history. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Oh, damn.
But I wanted to show the viewers the extent to which the hate fills the environment in this so-called country called Israel. So let's get started, inshallah, with the reaction video.
Zion Square in Jerusalem, which the government has actually declared to rename Tolerant Square. And we're just going to ask everyday Israelis what they think about the situation. You're American. Where are you from and why did you come here?
I'm from New York, and I came here with my family when I was younger to make Aliyah, because it was always my parents' dream to come to Israel because we're religious.
So, are you American?
Yes.
Oh, cool. When did you move here and why?
I moved here 11 years ago. My family moved here because this is the country of the Jewish people and the future of the Jewish people, and we want to be here.
How old are you guys?
18. We're 18 years old. Now we are here in Israel taking a leadership course, and we're going to the army for a few months to see how life's here. And then we hope to bring back some of this knowledge to our youth movements.
So you're like an internship with the army?
It's about 2 months, and they show you everything about the army.
Israel is a great place. It's a nice place. You should come and visit. I
don't
love
think
Israel
they're gonna be
and I
visiting
feel
now.
safe here.
All
I
the
don't think people are going to
misconceptions
be
are
safe going on
not
holiday
true.
into this place now.
Like, there's not people with knives every day, and there's not people exploding.
Palestinians?
Yeah. No, but pretty much the life here is really good.
For people living here, it's just normal to see people in the army walking around with guns, and you feel completely safe and protected.
I feel like we know who the threat is, and it's not coming from anyone random, as opposed to in the rest of the world that could be anyone. Here we know who our enemy is, and we know that they are out to get us.
Who is the enemy?
Who's the enemy? That's a very good question. I
Go on.
don't think it's specifically any nation. I think it's the people that are so interested in being politically correct that they won't actually
Waffler.
go after the
Scared
people
to
that
answer.
are trying to cover things up.
I think that the Islam is it's a very bad disease.
Bro, he looks like a Muslim
Not
himself.
just for Israel.
it's a disease that's affected him as well.
all around the world. We can see it. They think they all
This guy
have
don't
to
look
be
like a Jew
Islam.
at all, man. You'd have thought
If
this
you're
guy's a
not
brother.
Islam, they will kill
Look,
you.
his skull cap is
A lot
almost
of
filling up
Americans
with
don't
oil.
really understand what
Yes,
Israel's
yes,
like. We hear a lot of things in the news. A lot of people are sympathizing with the Palestinian plight. Can you talk about what it's like to kind of live in this situation?
First of all, it's very hard. I'm in an organization.
Can barely
It's
get
called
words out.
Lahava. It's against the Jews shouldn't marry Arabs.
Did you say the organization did what again?
The organization is the thing of it is that Jews shouldn't marry Arabs.
Shouldn't marry Arabs. Why do you feel strongly about that?
Because Jews is a special nation that God gave it to the Jews, and we don't want Jews to get mixed up together with a different nation.
I think Israelis have to take over, and they have to kick them away. It will be much better.
Tolerance.
Not to kill them, just to go back to Arab countries.
Do you know what this reminds me of? The story of Joseph, in the Quran and the Old Testament, funny enough. Well, when they were deciding what to do with him, should we kill him? Should we throw him? No, just throw him in the well. They're dealing with the Arabs like they dealt with Joseph.
Wow, they still haven't learned their lesson.
Well, this guy hasn't. I'm sure he hasn't. Let's see what this guy has to say.
With these people, there's no need to try, there's no need to talk to them. What we can do is when they do enough harm, we retaliate. That's war, and that's the situation that any Jew who lives in Israel has to deal with.
יש לך משהו להגיד, אומרת ש...
על מה?
גם ככה ערבים, מקסימום.
אוקיי, בסדר בעברית? פשוט מאוד, צריך להיכנס לשטחים, וכל מחבל שעושה פיגוע צריך להרוג אותו, צריך להרוג את המחבלים, ואז הם יפחדו ולא יעשו לנו בעיות, והכל יהיה בסדר. הם יהיו בכפרים שלהם, אנחנו נחיה פה, לא צריך להיות ביחד, והכל בסדר.
They think they're better because these individuals here think they're better because of their
every
race.
Arab that doing
They're
terrorism
racist.
attack,
They're basically like the
we
Nazis.
have to kill him, and not because he's an Arab, because he's a terrorist.
Pause it for a second. I mean, if you wanted to see how Nazis would be in the 21st century, this is a good. This is how it would look.
This is a good case study, I would say.
Yeah, unbelievable. This is how they must have been speaking about the Jews in Germany. All that's happened now, you just replace the word Jewish with Arab, and Jewish with German, and Arab with Jew, and you've got the same situation in the 1930s. There's no difference. I genuinely see no difference at all between what's going on here and what we probably would have witnessed in the 1930s in Germany. Think about that for a second. If you would have asked the average German, in a city center where there was support for Hitler, you would expect there to be a lot of support for anti-Semitism and a lot of support for Aryan supremacy. This is the same thing, but just reversed. Different nations, different ethnicities. It's fascism. It is racism. It is ethnocentrism. And it is exactly what, this is what I don't like. If those particular individuals were to be asked about the Holocaust, they would call it all those things we just talked about. But then they're perpetrating them themselves.
Victims of the Holocaust have now become perpetrators of another Holocaust.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Genocide.
What a shame.
Genocide.
What a shame. And you know what? Indeed, not all Jews or Israelis feel like that. But here, you have a seemingly independent third party going around asking Israelis to speak candidly.
And they're doing it.
And that's what they're doing. And we're seeing a worrying trend here.
Absolutely.
Also kick out the family because it all begins with the chinuch. I would say
Education.
Whatever they
Well,
teach
that's what we're saying,
the kids does. It's families.
I'm seeing that we need to... איך אומרים להעיף את הערבים?
Oh, bitch.
כן, תגידי לי איזה
What a
מילה.
bitch you are. Little bitch you are. How kick out there?
נו, תגידי לי מילים, אני לא...
אני לא יודעת לתרגם.
You can't translate.
I
you
don't
little
know how to translate really well.
I think we should give them a country. If you're doing any problem, you just go in there to give them a country, and then it's going to be a war between countries. If they're going to throw rockets, we're going to throw one big one and done.
I don't think there's any answer to it. There's only one way. I would carpet bomb them.
You would carpet bomb?
It's the only way you could deal with it.
Yeah, put them in a gas chamber, maybe. Yeah.
Try to stop them a
like
different
what
way.
happened to probably his grandparents.
It never worked.
You mean all Arabs or Gaza or...
I believe that they. Like, I hope to believe they're not, but I do think they are.
But I do think. Wow.
I don't trust them. You can't trust them.
But do you know before I made
the only way is just to stop it
people
completely.
didn't believe it, but now when you see it in the flesh,
I think that we're miserable. The Arabs make a piguim and we need to kill Arabs.
we need to kill Arabs.
Yeah, that's messed up. That's
kill Arabs.
We'll talk about this later.
The only thing she's killing and butchering is her own English
There is
pronunciation.
also Jewish civilians that hate the Arabs. Yeah, I'm not saying, but we have also people that like the Arabs and everything, like Smolanim.
I think another thing that the Jews should have rights to hate them. I think we have the right to hate them. I don't see a reason why not. I won't trust any
education,
of them.
a right to have.
So just seeing, this is like a case study example, a small sample group as it may be, right? But I've shown this, and if you want more information about actual studies that have been done, you can look at my refutation of Ben Shapiro when we actually put facts like surveys that have been done, peace index surveys, which shows how rampant racism, Islamophobia, anti-Arab sentiment, anti-black sentiment there is in this so-called nation called Israel. And I just think it's shocking, considering the histories of the Jewish people with the Holocaust, that they are, for all intents and purposes, just replicating the behavior and the attitudes and the ideologies of the Nazis to a group of people who they think that they are basically masters over, who are the Arabs. And just not the Arabs, as we've mentioned, all the other ethnic groups, they think that they are the chosen, the center of attention, and the best people that there are because of their ethnicity, because of the accident of birth.
And I think as Muslims, we may not have the media representation. That's why people are able to come up with this rhetoric that, it's Muslims that are preaching hate in their madrasas, in their holy books and this and that. But if you look, yes, the media may not center that much on Judaism. If you see some of the stuff that's done here, even in London, in Golders Green, and some of the practices that take place. They have their own ambulances. They have their own syllabus. Ofsted.
And power to them. We haven't got an issue with that. But what we do have a problem with is racism.
But we have an issue when they come and when Muslims try to make some progress.
Yes.
And then they say, you guys are doing this in your schools. You get special treatment over here. I'm sorry, if you can't give one group preference over the other, and whilst smashing the other group just because they don't have enough media representation. And here, stuff like this you will not see as much.
No,
you don't see as much.
It doesn't serve any geopolitical interests. That's the bottom line. At the end of the day, as Joe Biden said himself, and perhaps you can do a video just on this. He said, if there wasn't an Israel, we'd need to make one.
Yeah, damn.
He said that. He said if there wasn't an Israel in the Middle East, we'd have to make one. Meaning Israel serves a geopolitical function for the Americans, and therefore opposing it makes no political sense. And that's why, whether Democratic or Republican, American presidents have a history of supporting the corrupt state of Israel, and they will continue doing so because it serves the geopolitical objectives of the United States of America. Whereas it may serve the geopolitical interest of the United States of America if they were to put Muslims and Islam in a bad light, because it gives them the option to foreignly invade the country and take it for its assets and its natural resources. That's what we've been seeing in the last 50 years.
Definitely. I guess we'll leave it there.
So Jazakumullah khairan, guys. Thanks so much for watching. It was a pleasure doing this with you, Zishan. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, bro.
And guys, make sure that you spread these videos far and wide, because we need to make as much noise as possible for this particular cause.
100%. Because the more you start raising videos like this, it will encourage other people to speak out.
Yes.
Yeah, the more you're liking, the more you're sharing.
We're normalizing.
Yeah,
we're normalizing these kind
this.
of things. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got Pogba coming out. You've got John Oliver. You've got Philip DeFranco. These are all mainstream people, be it YouTubers. Yeah, you've got that Tan Desai or whatever his name is, a Sikh politician. You've got the usual suspects like Jeremy Corbyn, and you've got a lot of people standing up, mobilizing. Yeah, people probably didn't even know about Ilbit. Yeah, the arms company located in Leicester, and there's protests happening there as well. Yeah, and there's Al Jazeera, they're there. Their towers being knocked down with alongside Associated Press and the likes. So also people are literally there, and you can see that unarmed. Yeah, these are medical personnel. They are media personnel. There's footage of army or police about to throw their tear gas, and then the camera, as soon as the camera's there, the guy just holds it back. Yeah, so you've probably seen a lot of these videos. So the more you do it, the more it will encourage other influencers to also do that, because you have to understand that for some influencers it is about feeding the algorithm, getting the views, getting the money, and if they're seeing that, look, it's working here, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people do need that dunya kind of
incentive, but alhamdulillah,
incentive.
for us, we're doing it for the sake of Allah. We hope so anyway, and we're going to be spreading these videos, and we're going to be providing the thorn in the throat of the Zionist state of Israel.
Oh damn.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.